Matt Walsh, who plays Press Secretary Mike McClintock on Veep, also happens to be one of the best improv comedians in the world. So I put him to the test by making up some ridiculous sports stories to see if he could put some press secretary spin on them, even though he had no idea what was coming.
Miss.
Katie Nolan from The Garbage Times. Tom Brady's mask fell off today, revealing a much less perfect face. Your thoughts?
I have yet to see the footage of this mask, but it is newsworthy, certainly, that his face would be artificial, but we have not corroborated this. This is the first I'm hearing of it. It is, in fact, a perfect face, and I would suspect that what you're judging as not perfect is probably still pretty close to perfect.
I actually do agree.
Thank you.
It's been rumored that Lance Armstrong actually rode a dog disguised as a bike for all of his Tour de France wins. How do you respond to this allegation?
You know, he is a controversial figure, obviously the doping scandals, and it is a sport riddled with dog riding, quite frankly. French athletes have been accused of riding dogs for many years through the Pyrenees and the climbing stages, and he's had his career and his legacy tarnished already. But the dog riding, in my opinion, certainly in the late 90s was commonplace, although it wasn't seen on camera. You know, Outdoor Network didn't show you that part of the reality, but it was there. I was over there. There were dogs everywhere and men on dogs everywhere, especially at night. Katie.
How do you respond to the recent discovery that Rob Gronkowski is really just two 8-year-old boys standing on top of each other's shoulders in an overcoat?
Well, there have been suspicions about this a long time, and I'm happy that Gronkowski has come out with his truth. I mean, I think many players in the NFL have difficult living who they are because it is such an aggressive, traditional, macho sport in a way. I think it must be freeing for Mr. Gronkowski. The interesting thing that will play out is, will they have a 12-man roster on the offensive side now, or will only half of Gronkowski be allowed to line up? That, of course, will be handled by Commissioner Goodell in further hearings. But congrats to Mr. Gronkowski for coming out as two people. It's not easy. I was once two people. I was born a Siamese twin. Okay, great. Are we wrapping? Oh, Katie again. Go ahead, Katie.
Tiger Woods says to get his game back on track, he's decided to sacrifice his children to the Lord of Light from Game of Thrones. Care to comment?
Well, my first thought is it didn't go so well for Stannis Baratheon when he made a deal with the Lord of Light. So I do feel the desperation of Mr. Woods, the willingness to make a deal with the Lord of Light to get his game back seems reasonable. It's not predictable. It's not a predictable. You're not engaging in a predictable God with a predictable God, certainly.
Is there a God you would prefer him to sacrifice his children to?
I think any of the other gods would be fine. I just, you know, Yahweh, Abraham, I don't know, the many-faced God. Actually, the many-faced God in the kingdom of Game of Thrones, I think the many-faced God would not be a terrible idea, although blindness might be a side effect of that. You guys can get your parking validated outside.